Hi, I'm Jeilene Tracey, and I have an update for you for February that I would like to share. As we move into this month, we continue with some pretty intense energy that we have been experiencing over the past several months. It doesn't seem as though things are lightening up in February yet. March feels like it might be a little lighter, but I think February is going to continue to be pretty intense energetically, which really can draw us inward and cause us to feel like we need to spend some time nurturing our bodies and ourselves, spending some time um, thinking about what it is you'd like to bring into form into the world, and really nurturing yourself and taking the time to nurture yourself. So, whenever we're in this kind of energy that is really pressing in on us and creating a lot of change within our energy field, then it's a good time to really take the moment to reflect and to see where you are and where you'd like to go. And that's really what February feels like it is about for us. It feels like a nice time to pause, to regroup our energy, and to perhaps take care of some aspects of your physical being that aren't in alignment, or that perhaps have been injured, or that need some extra care. So definitely do take time to do that now. I think if you're a very active physical person, that if we don't take the time during these sorts of energy surges, it's typical that we can become injured or overdo it, overextend ourselves energetically. You might need to be very mindful about what you're eating right now and making sure that you're eating food that's very nurturing and healthy and supports your energy. So, lots of good, clean protein, things like spirulina and chlorella come to mind as being beneficial. Anything that really supports your cells, supports your mitochondria for energy, and supports your feelings of nurturing. So, taking that time to take a nice hot soak in the bath, use nice scented oils and lotions on your skin and your body. Just luxuriate in being with yourself and taking care of yourself and your energy field, which moves into the next part of this update, which is really to understand what's going on with our energy field right now amongst all of this really intense energy. So, what it feels like is that we're moving through another stage of rewriting our codes of the way that we interact with our environment and the way that we as humans create our existence. So, you probably are aware in this community that you are a beautiful being of light and energy that is manifesting itself in the physical. So, every moment of your life is that continuation of the agreement to be here, to be in manifestation of your physical. While we're doing that, we do so from really the core of our being. Our soul flows into our being, and I always see it coming in through the heart chakras. Of course, it comes in through other chakras as well, but the heart is really the foundation and the center of where the energy comes in. And so we have all this energy streaming through us, and then we stream that energy through our physical being and then outside of us. So our body is this amazing electromagnetic sensing organism, and it's designed to pick up on the energy around us, to receive that information, absorb it, interpret it, transmute it, and then radiate it back out. This is why we are piezoelectric. This is the definition of being piezoelectric. It is that ability, like a crystal has the ability, and I have one here as an example, to absorb information and energy around it, to transmute that energy, and then to reflect it back out into its environment. And indeed, human beings are like crystals. We are crystalline in nature. We have a tremendous amount of silicon in our tissues and in our bones. And so we are like crystals, and we are able to radiate information back out. The way that you interact with your environment, though, is determinant upon your experiences you've had, your genetic lineage, your ancestry, your Akashic field, and the morphogenic field around your DNA. So all of those things come into play with the way that we're interacting with our environment. What's happening right now is that we're really called in this new energy to redefine the way that we have those interactions and redefine the way that we create interactions with each other and with all of the objects in our environment, the people, the places, the plants, the animals. So we're in this rewriting of codes. we're rewriting our DNA codes, and we're rewriting our energetic codes and the energy net that is around us that creates our signature imprint for the world to see. So, part of the reason why we're called to go inward in February is because we're called to redefine that energetic net and redefine our signature imprint. So, the best way for us to feel into what's right for us, because it's a very personal experience, it's not that everyone is going to redefine in the same way. We are all such individuals and so unique, even though we are part of the whole. So, for each of us to go about opening ourselves energetically to this redefinition, energetically and genetically, the best thing to do is to get very centered and connected into your physical being. And so, any exercise that you may have utilized in the past to help bring your energy into your physical being is super important to do right now and to practice regularly. And if you don't have a practice, one that you can do that I like that's very simple is to take lots of deep breaths and allow your energy to flow into your body as you breathe. And just imagine the inhale bringing in golden light and energy that flows down into your body all the way down through your chakras and down into your root chakra. And that golden light represents your soul energy, and that you're drawing more and more of yourself into your body with each breath. The breath calms the nervous system. It opens up channels of information and energy in our field and in our physical being. And so immediately as we breathe, we start to calm down and we start to get more open. But then when you visualize your soul energy and your light body coming into your physical body, it helps to bring that cohesion and union between the two. And the reason this is so important right now is because we are drawn to understand some of the fundamental laws of the universe and of this planet. This planet is the planet of choice, and it is also the planet of change. Those two fundamental laws are like hinge points of each other. When we make a choice, we bring about change in our experience. And the changes around us also cause us to make choices on the daily basis. Each and every one of us makes choices every moment of our day. We choose what to eat, what to wear, when to wake up, when to go to sleep, where to live, what kind of work we're going to engage in, who we're going to spend time with, etc., etc. We are also always fundamentally at our core changing. Every cell in our body is changing all of the time. We are not permanent. We are part of an ever evolving, changing body in an ever evolving, changing environment. So we are anchored in change. Both of these two things are very highlighted right now because we're called to come into personal responsibility to make very intentional choices with the way that we want to interact with the energy field. We are now in the master class, or the graduate school, you could say, of human existence, where we are called to be responsible for what we choose and how our energy field is affecting those around us and the environment around us, and ultimately Earth. Because Earth is undergoing a huge transformative energy cycle right now, and she's purging energy that no longer wants to be within her field, and she's no longer going to hold. And she's also evolving at a very rapid clip, which is why we feel such intensity of the energy around us. So we're drawn in to remember these fundamental laws of our space here, which are change and choice. Now, when those two fundamental laws are anchored into the frequency of compassion, another C word, then we make changes and choices that are in alignment with our soul energy. And that's what the guides are talking about right now. They really want us to anchor into these and recognize these fundamental aspects of this plane of existence, which is third dimensional and up, and to really start to tune into our conscious, you could say, our conscious participation in making choices and participating in changes when they're anchored in compassion, so that we start to be contributors to the overall energy field around us in a very directed and intentional way. that we really start to engage and are purposeful about the way we're holding our energy so that we can be part of the solution of the humanity's evolution issue, which we see around us every day. We see a lot of angst. We see a lot of beings leaving the planet. We see a lot of unrest, and we see a lot of striving for power and for control. And all of those things happen when we don't anchor choice and we don't anchor change into the energy and vibration of compassion. Compassion is the salve for humanity. Compassion is a transformative energy that can help us to transcend out of the wheels of karma, of cause and effect, and of not having control and the feeling of having control over our lives into a place where we become the conscious and neutral observers of our existence, and we're able to choose what we participate in and choose the way that we want to interact with one another. So that is really what is on deck for us right now. This opportunity to really take responsibility for our energy fields, to consciously choose which choices we make, and to consciously do so in the vibration of compassion so that the changes we see around us are dictated by that beautiful frequency. So I hope that you can all step into this practice. And the best way that I know to connect into your frequency of compassion is to spend time with one another, to do things that radiate and activate actually. So you could say that the molecule within the human body that reflects and is an expression of compassion is oxytocin. And oxytocin is something that is released out of many parts of the body. Um, Not just out of when women are breastfeeding their babies, but that's probably what we know most commonly. But it also comes out of other sex organs, such as the uterus, the ovaries. But it's released in the brain. It's also released in the heart tissue. So there are lots of places where this really beneficial hormone is released out of the body, and it does act like an elixir and a salve for our nervous system, and it helps us to stay in a place of connection and compassion. So anything you can do to increase oxytocin in your body will also increase that frequency of compassion for you, as well as spending time with loved ones and friends and really being present. Practicing present moment awareness while you're in the presence of another person is another way of expressing compassion. Spending time with an animal that you care about, spending time out in nature and connecting with the energy of the trees and the plants around you, and feeling the feelings that they have, feeling the energy from the objects around you. This all can spark your compassion into not necessarily feeling sorry for anything. That's not compassion. It's the ability to connect with something truly and energetically match them and allow them to feel heard, to be seen, to be accepted, and forgiven when necessary. That is true compassion. It's all of those aspects and the frequencies that come with them of showing up for somebody and holding space for them and allowing them to be who they are without question, without having to modify themselves in any way. So it's being neutral but accepting, open, and holding space for one another. So I hope that you have time to do this for loved ones, friends, and really anyone that you are in the presence of. Spend time in nature, spend time with your animals, nurture yourself, take care of yourself. And I look forward to connecting with you next month and giving you another update. And if you have any questions or would like to connect with me, you can do so on my website, and that is at thelightVibesNetwork.com. All right, take care, everyone. Have a wonderful month. Bye for now.